Y'all like the hair in the front. I don't know if it's gonna stay because we finna get into it today. Maybe I should just push it to the back like that. Y'all ready? And where the guy with the little action.
You are watching a master at work.
Hey y'all, welcome to the Christian Bae TV where Christ and Culture connects. I pray that you guys are having a wonderful day. As you guys see, now that y'all know when I do that little intro, I put on my telephone, my AT&T voice, but now that we got that out of the way, today is episode 1 of the Christian Bae TV, and you guys are probably like, girl, you got over 100 videos on your YouTube. This is not episode 1, but it is episode 1 because this is a different type of episode. So what I am doing is I'm having my own TV show. That's what it is. I said it on my channel before, y'all know. And I'm creating my own reality right now. Until God blesses me with the production and the camera crew, we're gonna start right here. So as of now, this is my camera crew, okay? Oh, cut. Where the bag? See, now. Not my camera battery saying low.
Don't you give up on your dream. I don't care if you don't have the help and you don't have the background for it. Don't you give up on your dream. Don't you do it.
Okay, like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, I am creating my own TV show, and this is my camera crew for now. I got a little mirror right here so I can see if my hair or anything's messed up. We got our ring light. This is not gonna be the permanent setup, but this is episode 1. I'm actually thinking about getting one of those neon lights that says the Christian Bae. So leave in the comments where you guys ordered your light from, because my friend had ordered one before and it never came from that company. So I want a really good company to make me a neon light that says the Christian Bae. So leave in the comments where you guys got your neon lights from. I think I want to do like a white one because white is just timeless, white or black. But yes, I'm gonna order one of those so that it could be like here, and this is gonna grow into something huge, okay? So that is what I mean by episode 1. This is the Christian Bae TV where Christ and culture connects. I realized that a lot of my audience does not know where Christ and culture connects mean. Like I say it in every video, and I feel like you guys just look at it like an intro and keep going, but what that means is I am the bridge that connects Christ and culture. And when I started my relationship with God, some of you know my testimony already. A lot of people say you don't look like a Christian, you have your hair, you have your nails and everything like that. So they were surprised that I had a relationship with God, and they connected with me on so many other levels because there's this stigma of Christians. So this TV show, and it's not going to be an explanation every episode, this is just for episode 1 where I'm explaining what I mean by where Christ and culture connects. My audience is the culture. I feel like my audience is like the city girl Christians, if that makes sense. Like I feel like that's my audience. So I know who my audience is. I know what God has called me to do, who he has called me to reach. And on this show, it will be Christ and culture connecting. We'll be talking about popular topics and what God has shown me, or what I feel, what's my perspective and my opinion on the topic. And I would like to know you guys' perspective and opinion as well. So now that we got that little intro out the way, let's get into it, because y'all, I promise I'm gonna keep these episodes under 30 minutes or just at 30 minutes, okay? Like I'm not doing these hour-long episodes. I'm gonna discipline myself to be at 30 minutes. So we got 3 topics to talk about, but before we jump in, of course we're gonna do an OOTD. So this blazer, y'all probably already know this blazer is from Zara. I love it so much. I love the color. It just gives polish. The tank top is from either Shein or Skims. It's just a white onesie. The earrings are from Aldo. They acting like the ops right now, but they're from Aldo. I love them. The rings and the necklace was from my website. I used to sell this on my website. But that is the OOTD. Y'all can't see my bottom, so it doesn't even matter. The perfume for today is Burberry Her. This is a very fruity scent. I love it so much. If you're not a girl that likes fruity scent, you like more musky or woody scents, this is not the scent for you. This is for the ones that want to smell luscious or like yummy. That's what this scent is, and I love it so much. So that's the perfume that I have on for today. So I've been doing my makeup different, and I love it so much. The lip combo is literally just a black liner, and then I put Fenty Beauty Diamond Milk. I don't know why I thought this was glass slipper, but I put Fenty Beauty Diamond Milk on top, and that's it with a black liner. Good to go. So that's the OOTD of today. Y'all don't see my bottom, so I just have on black shorts. But now that we got the look out the way, let's get into it. So the first topic that I want to talk about is Lil Baby going to church. And if you guys don't know, I am a huge Lil Baby fan. I love Lil Baby. I'm going to the concert. I'm letting y'all know now I am. I'm not influencing you or encouraging you to listen to secular music. I'm just telling you that's not a stumbling block for me, and I'm gonna turn up. I love Lil Baby, and they posted that Lil Baby went to church, and the pastor actually called him on stage. I'm gonna insert the clip here.
The sons of this church, I call him, I pray for him. This is the #1 hip-hop voice in the world. Lil Baby. I went to his concert. He took his shirt off. I almost want to take my shirt off too. How y'all doing today? And I don't got too much to say. Pastor want me to say something. I don't got nothing to say. I just hope everybody doing good and keeping God first. That he came by on his time. He could be London, Africa, anywhere, but he came home.
Now, I have a question for you guys. Do you think if Lil Baby wasn't at that church, do you think the pastor would have told the congregation that he was at the concert? Because I personally don't. I don't think the pastor would have said or promoted or talked about him going to the concert, and that's because Christians have this stigma or this opinion that if you're in that environment and you're listening to that music, you're automatically wrong, or God can't be using you, or God can't be speaking to you. But here we have the pastor on stage with the artist saying, oh yeah, I was at his concert, and he has his own church. And I'm pretty sure some people were shocked to hear that, but I love this topic because it shows that people in secular music, people in the culture, celebrities and things like that, they have a relationship with God. And because it's not something that they post about every day or that they promote every day, this world is convinced that it does not exist. So I love that he was at church. I love that the pastor said that he was at the concert because it's authentic, it's genuine. And I feel like a lot of people don't do that. Most pastors probably would have not mentioned it or, you know, just kept that part out. But in real life, that's what you're doing. I remember y'all one time, they were flooding my DMs coming at me because I had posted a picture in a bathing suit. And my thing is, when I go to the pool or I go to the beach, I wear a bathing suit. I have it on in real life. So you're telling me I can do it in real life, just don't post about it? To me, that's fake. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all perspective is. But to me, it's fake, because if I'm gonna do it in real life and then say I'm not gonna post about it, to me that's trying to create an image, and that's not being genuine to who you really are. Because what if somebody would have saw me at the pool, or what if somebody would have saw me at the beach? I got on the same thing that I had on in the picture. So what's the difference? Now, it's the difference in trying to, like, you know, do the most in a picture, but I was literally sitting on a chair and I had a cover up on, and they're like, oh, why are you posting this? Because this is what you wear to the pool. This is what you wear to the beach. This is what you swim in. So I love that the pastor made it known that he went and supported Lil Baby regardless of what anybody would have to say or any judgment that came his way. He was authentic, and I love that. And I love that Lil Baby was at church. I love when artists share that they do have a relationship with God. I feel like sometimes this world brainwash us to believe that we have to prove to people on the daily that we have a relationship with God, and if they don't see it, then it's not happening. But there's plenty of times that I'm praying and I'm not posting about it because it ain't y'all business. That first things first. Mind your business. It ain't your business every time that I talk to God. So I really love that video. I really love the humility and him getting on stage and like encouraging everybody at the church. I'm not saying he's a pastor. I'm not saying he's perfect, but this is where people get it confused. Pastors aren't perfect either. Christian influencers aren't perfect either. So what makes them so much better than secular artists who have a relationship with God, know about God, but preach it, but speak and rap about something else? What do you guys think? So that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to get you guys' opinion on that. I personally love that Lil Baby went up there and said something. You could tell he was kind of like shy or nervous or whatever, but who would it be? Like, you just call it. Hey, I be nervous when I go to new churches and they be like, raise your hand. Raise my hand for what? Like, whoa, not too much. Not too much. Now, I just came here to scope it out. I ain't playing for for the spotlight to be on me. So it's understandable that he was nervous. What do you guys feel about the pastor sharing that he was at the Lil Baby concert? Do you feel like more people should be authentic and genuine, because it lets people know that, okay, God isn't going to send you to hell because you went to a concert, or God isn't going to send you to hell because you like an artist's new song, but still understanding that God can use you exactly where you are. Do you feel like it was a good thing that you shared it, or do you feel like that's something that he should have kept to himself? Leave it in the comments. Okay, this hair in the front, hair in the back thing, stressing me out real bad. Where is my hair lady? Whew. Let's get into Caresha and Diddy. Let's get into it, let's get into it, let's get into it. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that I posted my favorite part of the interview. Y'all know I watched the interview. Okay, let's be clear. Caresha is from here. Caresha is from 305, Young Miami. So of course I watched the interview. Like, of course I did. And I loved it because she is such a Florida girl. And even when y'all be coming and y'all be like Christian City Bae, Christian City Bae or Christian City Girl, it'd be so funny because I'm so Florida. But I watched the interview and I posted some parts about the interview on my story that I love. And the part that I posted was this part.
I think I want to do TD Jakes.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah.
I feel like this new generation need it. We need some healing.
I'm gonna take you to the church one day.
I love that.
Real. That word is so important. Having God in your life is so important. Them sermons that I sent you, I know I'll always be sending you sermons. It's just, you know, I just wish everybody could get a chance to, you know, get that uplifting word every week, you know.
I think when they go on commercial break, they like freshen up. So when we do that, it's starting to get hot in here with this blazer on. Next episode, don't expect a blazer. It's hot, this ring light. Is my AC working? Whew, honey, I don't even know what to do. Okay, hair to the back, hair to the back. Welcome back from the commercial break. So as you guys saw in that clip from the interview, P. Diddy asked Caresha who was the first artist or the first person that she wanted on the show, and she said TD Jakes. And there was people like commenting, like laughing, talking about it, saying, oh, TD Jakes would never go on that show. Why not? Okay, but why? Why not? Why not? Is it because of the type of music that she talks about? Is it because her music is provocative? Is it because she curses a lot? Is it because, and this is things that people were saying, like she's provocative, she curses a lot, the way that she dressed, the type of music that she makes. But my thing is, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. If Christians are called to make disciples and go out and leave the 99 and go get the one, he needs to be on that show. He needs to be on that show. I love that that's the first person she said she wanted to show. And my thing is, and I know how some of the saints like to tussle, but this is my issue. I feel like in situations like this where Caresha is saying she wants TD Jakes on the show, instead of Christians and saints and people that feel like they so holy talking down on her like, oh, he not gonna come there, he not gonna come there, y'all should be encouraging it. Yes, invite him on the show because she has an audience that supports her and loves her, and TD Jakes is a man of God that's gonna pour into them the word of God. So are you about making disciples or are you about tearing people down? Like, which one is it? Because if a person doesn't look like how you think they should look, or they're not talking about what you feel like they should be talking about, they're not worthy of being in his presence. But that's what the word is about. That's what the word is about, making disciples. Jesus said that he came to heal the sick, not the ones that was fine and perfect and holy and got it all together. He came to heal the sick. So the fact that she wants to use her platform and invite somebody like TD Jakes, I think it is lovely. And I honestly think he's gonna go on the show, and the show is gonna be a hit. It's literally, y'all, I was so excited when she said that, because that would literally be Christ and culture connecting, and that is what God has called me to do. So to see it also happening in other ways, I love it so much. Like, Christ and culture will connect when Caresha and TD Jakes do her podcast. That is going to be so beautiful. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think it'll be a good idea for him to go on the show? Do you think it'll be a bad idea for him to go on the show? What do you think about people slandering her and talking about, like, I just want to know your full perspective on it, because I feel like people should support it, especially the Christians. We have to stop tearing people down because they're not where we are. That's not how it works. So leave in the comments and let me know what you guys think about TD Jakes going on the Caresha Please podcast. Another part of the podcast that I really loved was this part.
That's one thing I love about our friendship, is that we connect through God. Like, we put God first. Like, you always sending me, like, you sent me something about inflection point.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and it was like, it was crazy. The time that you sent it to me was like, I was going through everything he was speaking about.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's like one of my favorite things about our friendship. It's like God. We
God up over here, filled with the Spirit. That's the new frequency, you know. Where you?
So on this part, y'all, I was smiling the whole time. They had a whole moment. Her and Diddy had a whole moment talking about how they connect over God, and it's just like, I feel like people miss the bigger picture. Regardless of what you think about them dating, regardless of their age difference, regardless of if she wasted her time, what everybody else is focusing on, regardless of she should be doing this, he should be doing that, she shouldn't mess with him, she this and that, whatever people are talking about, regardless of all of that, the bigger picture that I feel like everybody should be focusing on is the fact that she said they connect over God. He sends her sermons, and she was talking about how the sermon spoke exactly to what she was going through. They are growing in Christ together. Why is nobody focusing on that? Y'all find all the negative stuff to talk about, but nobody's focusing on the way that God is moving in the culture. God is moving amongst secular artists. And I'm not saying that he's just started. I'm saying, for me at least, it's becoming more public, and I'm actually happy to see it, because I hate that it's always been division. From my perspective, it feels like Christians have something against celebrities. Like, oh, the only way you could be rich and famous is if you sell your soul. That's like, oh, Illuminati. Why can't God bless people with abundance like this? He can. So don't think so small to think that every celebrity is worshiping Satan, and no celebrity love God. If they're not talking about God, then they don't love God, and that's how you get manipulated. That's being naive. You think that every Christian artist is a man or a woman of God, but a secular artist can't be because of what they put out there or what image. That's not what God called them to do. It does not mean that God loves them any less. It does not mean that they don't love God. It does not mean that they don't genuinely have a relationship with God. Another thing, interview that I saw that I really loved was Carly was talking about Young Thug being in jail, and she was like, he knows the Bible backwards and forward. A lot of people don't know that.
Then I really feel like I see his faith. Like, you know what I'm saying? I really, really do. And like, that's what a lot of people don't know. Like, bro, that man really like know the Bible inside out. Like, nobody would know that about him, because ain't nobody talking about that. Right. People come around him, they don't see how he talk about God. They don't talk about that. They talk about everything else, but...
Exactly, because that's that man's personal relationship with God. So for me, I would just want to use my platform to open people's eyes to stop judging based on what you see. We live in a social media generation where everything is about creating an image. Everything is about an aesthetic. So I actually appreciate people genuinely being themselves and genuinely saying where they are. He's in a tough situation and he turns to God. That's what a lot of y'all don't pray as much as y'all should until y'all get in a situation too. So what's the difference? The fact that he raps about his life's experiences and stuff. Some people really grew up in the streets. Some people really grew up going through that stuff. And in my opinion, y'all, and tell me if y'all agree with this or disagree with this, but in my opinion, that's them sharing their testimony. This is what I went through. The lights was off. That's part of the reason why I love Lil Baby, because I can relate to a lot of stuff he talked about. Having a single parent, growing up in a struggle, I can relate to that. So that's why I connect to that music, because to see his testimony and to see where he is now, that's encouraging to me. So a lot of artists, they're sharing their story through their music, but it's just like sharing a testimony. So even in secular culture things, you can still see God can move in the midst of. God meets you where you are. And I feel like the Christian community has to stop Xing out the same people that they were called to make disciples of. That's how I feel about Diddy and Caresha. I love that he sent her sermons. I love that she said it clearly. We connect over God. The sermons, she be watching the sermons. He encourages her. That's how our relationship should be. I would love for our relationship to be like that, because even if it's not in God's plan for them to get married or whatever, they are connecting in a way that's way deeper than any physical form of intimacy. So keep your mouth out them. That's the moral of the story. It's mind your business. That's today's episode title. First off, mind your business, okay? Mind your business. Mind your business when it comes to them pastors. If they going to see secular artists, you don't know if God has assigned them to reach that artist. Mind your business. Mind your business will be when it comes to Diddy and Caresha, because they connected on another level and the Lord is in the midst of that. Mind your business. Next topic. The last and final topic of today's episode. Let me know if you guys are enjoying this episode. Leave a big thumbs up, heart it, share your favorite part on TikTok or your Instagram story. Just let me know what you guys think. I really love this. The last thing that we're going to talk about today is Drake's new album and Beyonce's new song. You guys know I love Beyonce. Don't even come. Save it. Don't even come in the comments and save it. I love Beyonce. I don't care. I love her. And until the Lord shows me otherwise, that's just what it is. Hold on, let me put my hair on. Okay, so first it was Drake's new album, and everyone was talking about they didn't like it because it was house music. Now, I woke up early, went to the gym, was blasting the album because I wanted to hear it. My favorite song on the album is Jimmy Cooks because it has more of an upbeat. The rest of the songs are definitely more house music. Now, Drake dropped that album that was full of house music, and then Beyonce dropped her new song, which is also house music. And a lot of people didn't like it. So after I was seeing how people were responding to Beyonce's new song, and I listened to it and it was definitely house music, I was watching a sermon. And while I was watching a sermon, it was talking about the shift that's happening right now, because it is a shift happening right now. And what God made me realize is that now is old news. Like, what's happening now, it's old news because it's already happening. But when God releases something to you, that's considered what's next, because it's something to come up. And people oftentimes reject what's next because they're comfortable and content with what's happening now. Now, I'm not saying I think that God done told Beyonce or Drake to do this, but for them to be two big artists and them to both release house music, I feel like it's something greater that's happening in the music industry that consumers don't know of. There's a reason why Drake put out the album the way that he put out. There's a reason why Beyonce put out the song that she put out. But us as consumers, we are used to the now. So if you switch it up, if you do anything new, a lot of times people reject you because they want you to stay the same version of you that you know. I want the same Drake from Nothing Was the Same. I want that same Drake. I want to listen to that same type of artist. I want the same Beyonce from Resentment. But as you evolve and as you grow, and when God shifts you, he shifts you to a new thing. So my perspective on Beyonce's new song and Drake's new album is that there's a new wave and a new type of music that's about to come. They are artists. This is their, first off, mind your business. This is their business. They study this industry because they're in this industry. So if anybody is able to recognize that a shift is coming, it would be them. It wouldn't be the consumers. We're not in the studio. We wasn't in the gym. We wasn't shooting with them in the gym. We're just waiting on the music to drop, but they know what's happening behind the scenes. So I feel like now is old news and next is what's new. And a lot of people are just rejecting what's new, but we have to know that when God shifts things, when it's a new thing coming, it's not always something that you're gonna like off rip. It's not always something that you're comfortable with, but God is intentional with what he does, and he releases the word to who needs it. When I started changing my content, it wasn't a lot of followers of mine that liked it, but that's because they were content with the now. They were content with what God was doing back then, but it's a new season now. There's a new vision that God has released to me, and it's not for me to create content that caters to the consumers when I'm called to them. See, this is a word now. This is a word. When you're called by God, God didn't call you to cater to people. He called you to be the change. He called you to shift some things. So that means that sometimes the people that you're called to may not like what you do because they don't understand it. But of course you don't understand it because God is calling me to pull you out of something. So, Christ and Culture Connect, because I'm giving a word, but I'm talking about Beyonce and Drake at the same time. I feel like the fact that they both put out music, and I know they wasn't planning to collab together and do the same type of music. They not married, you know what I'm saying? So two big artists drop this type of music and both get backlash. It's a shift happening in the music industry, and they're aware of it. Even Drake put out a statement, and I think he said, if you don't get it yet, that's okay, because the vision is not yours to get. I'm gonna end this episode with some encouragement. I think I'm gonna end every episode with some encouragement, of course. If God has given you a vision and you begin to create and put out content and put out things to support that vision that God has given you, take the quote from Drake and keep that in your heart. If you don't get it yet, it's okay. If you don't get it yet, it's okay. Y'all, let me tell y'all a quick testimony. I remember when I first started my ministry, the Christian Bae. It wasn't the Christian Bae, it was called Polished 144. And that was December 2017. Y'all, everybody was asking me, what does polished mean? My first Christian Bae shirts said polished on the back. I stopped putting polished on the back of the Christian Bae shirts because everybody kept asking me, what does polished mean? What's a popular word now? Pretty and polished, pretty and polished. Everybody polished now. 5 years later, and I'm gonna insert the shirt so y'all can see. Everybody's polished now. But 5 years ago, my ministry was called Polished 144. My WordPress, I'm gonna put it in the description. My WordPress, you can type it in and look it up. It's Polished 144. And I had a lady, she had like a gown on with like long hair, dressed really polished. Cause that's always been at the top of my mind, polished. I wanna be polished. My quote from my ministry was polishing women into the image of Christ. And it came from Psalms 144 verse 12. And I'm gonna put the verse here. Polished was the word that God gave me in 2017, and 5 years later it's finally getting popular on social media. So if you have a vision or a word from God or something that God is telling you to do, it's okay if they don't get it yet. Just like Drake said, it's okay if you don't get it yet. I told you guys I was gonna keep this episode under 30 minutes. I pray to do. I pray that you guys enjoyed it. Comment. I told y'all to comment a lot, but comment your favorite part. Comment to anything that stood out to you, any topic that you want to comment on. Comment on it in the comments. I would love to get feedback from you guys. Most important takeaway is it's okay if they don't get it yet. It's okay if they don't get it yet. When you breaking generational curses, the hardest thing to do is to get the people that's in the curse to agree with what you're doing, because they're so stuck in the now. They're so stuck in what they're used to. So it's okay if they don't get it yet. All right, y'all, I love you guys so much. Make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up. Share your favorite part of this video. Tag me on Instagram when you watch it. Let me know in the comments, feedback, share it with your friends. And also, this is gonna be every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can always come to this video and comment and leave a topic that you would like me to talk about or something that happened. I was actually thinking about talking about Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan but then I'm just like, that's kind of like 2 weeks old. But I don't know. Leave in the comments if you guys would like me to talk about it on next week's episode, or any other topics that come up throughout this week leading up to next week. You can come back to this video and comment, and you'll see what we talk about in next week's episode. But episode 1, first off, mind your business, because God is only going to give you information and insight on business that pertains to you. So don't even worry about nobody else's business, because it ain't paying your bills. I love you guys, and I pray that you guys have a wonderful day. Bye. Y'all think I should come up with a new intro? I've been thinking about an intro.